Welcome to this episode of CGTN live stream. I am CGTN's Xinchen.
I'm Danni.
So we're on the road again, and we're actually right now in southern Xinjiang, continuing our journey of the amazing Xinjiang program.
And this is day 20, and we're now driving from Kashgar all the way to the Markit County.
The Kashgar city and to the Markit County. Because Kashgar city is quite small and has its history tracing back over 2,000 years ago, and there is a Kashgar region, which is bigger and has a lot of smaller counties.
And including the one we're going to.
The Markit. Markit is quite special, right? It has this kind of a specific subgroup of Chinese Uyghur ethnicity, and they are called the Dolan people.
So you've been there once, last time?
Yes, I've been there once, and I got to see some Dolan people there, and they actually speak Uyghur as well, but they speak with a distinct accent, and they are good at dancing, music, and there is quite a special thing about this group of Dolan people living in Markit, Kashgar, is they paint farmers' paintings. Yeah.
So do you like it? Like the paintings and everything?
I love it a lot. The reason for that is why they start to paint is just actually in southern Xinjiang. A lot of people are still farmers. They grow tomatoes, fruit. Thinking about Xinjiang, thinking about all the fruit. So there are a lot of farmers. But speaking of plantation and harvest season, it's not all year round. So they would paint and draw pictures about their lives during fallow seasons. So when they're off from farming. And they used to use ashes, just black and white, and paint on wooden boards. But now they are using more paints, and they are using more color. And it's not just about their farming life. It's more about their changing values. They are, for example, my favorite painting is this wife was beating his drunken husband, because that shows this change of attitude among the Chinese Uyghur ethnicity. Is that the female people are growing more important, because there is the gender equality is improving among Chinese Uyghurs. Yeah. And just look around the road. So we're on the highway. It's a national highway that we're driving from Kashgar City to Kashgar City to Markit County, right over there, on the side road, and we are seeing that's the cotton fields.
Yeah, and people are picking up the cotton.
Cotton is quite famous in southern Xinjiang. In fact, it's not a foreign, it's not an alien like cotton. The plants are not foreign to Xinjiang, but it's more of when locals decided they want to make more income, they want to grow more of their wealth, they want to grow out of poverty. They found cotton is a really good plant, a crop. We can call it a crop, right?
Yeah.
To make money and to plant here, just because there's more space and the sun exposure really helps with growing cotton here. And also we are seeing poplars. That's just the regular poplars. And during the next few days, we're also going to see this special kind of poplars, which is called diversifolious poplar.
Yeah.
Diversifolious. Very, very strange name, but it means various leaves. That's a special poplar that only grows in deserts. Yeah. Still, I think we need to, for our viewers, pay attention to the greenery that we're seeing today. Because we're going to go deep into the desert. I think the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow, and we're going to go through the Taklamakan Desert.
Yeah, and we're going to go on the Tarim Desert Highway, the longest here in China, and passing through the Taklamakan Desert, the China's largest desert, the world's second largest drifting desert. Yeah.
Today is really dusty.
It is very dusty around this time of the year, especially in southern Xinjiang. Even though Kashgar is not that close to desert, but still is kind of circled up by desert. and I just saw the road sign. We're still like 147 kilometers away from Markit. That would take us about 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours to reach that county. And we're going to visit a family households there, local Dolan people.
We were very lucky. We can just go with them and to show you
how their lifestyles. And to be honest, I am very impressed by the Chinese Uyghur ethnicity, Uyghur people, especially here in southern Xinjiang, because over 90% of the population here are Chinese Uyghurs. The thing is that they can dance, they do music, and they make great food, very stuffy and very satisfying. And we're going to do another live stream episode after this, and we're going to show our viewers the Dolan dance, which is also called the Mashrap. Mashrap means a gathering, a big gathering.
In
Uyghur, the local Uyghur language. So that will be a group dance. But what I believe is all just for men. That's a special. That's special about the Dolan dance. Different from other kinds of. Yes, because for a lot of Uyghur dance, it's really a group dance with the female and male leads. But for Dolan dance, it's all the strong muscle men. But as I mentioned, gender equality is improving and embedded in the farmers' painting, from black and white to colorful paintings.
But I've been heard about Mashrap. I've learned a little bit, but I never saw it before. So I'm very excited to see this afternoon. They said it's a combination of like dancing and literature. So I'm very curious about how they would deliver literature throughout this culture.
Or the thing about like classic Uyghur music or Uyghur art, it's very deep. It's not quite easy to
understand.
It's like opera. It's rooted in history. It's imprinted in the local culture, and I mean, for me, every time if I watch one like Uyghur dance, for the first time I just wowed by their expression and by the flow, by the music. But the second time or the third time, if I really kind of try to understand the dance, it gives me a lot of different meanings. It tells a story about how their lifestyle, about their personality. And Chinese Uyghurs are very friendly. They are eager to make more friends, and right now they are more open-minded.
Yeah, I do have a strong feeling that before I came here, I have no idea like what it would like to be. But after I came, I feel like everyone we're talking to are eager to talk to you. They are so friendly. They have so many things to share with you.
And they can speak Mandarin, they can speak Uyghur, and many of them can speak perfect English.
Yeah.
That surprised me as well. But just thinking about Kashgar is the very far west of China. It's probably the most westward.
Yeah, it's almost, the western end of Chinese territory, actually.
But just think about it, these towns so far from mainland China, from what we call it modernization, but there are people who are just us, who are similar to us, who are the same. That are, probably because of the internet, because of that. And we're driving on the road, and we need capable rides, right? And we need to thank Geely also to support us with all the capable SUVs that we can drive on this road. And also we're going to enter the desert highway, and we still need rides as well. 非常感谢吉利汽车提供的这个帮助，能让我们在南疆顺利的
完成我们的直播。
对，and moreover, it's a very far and a remote area for many of the sections that we're going to travel, and we need satellites, we need maps, and also China just launched and started to use the Beidou satellite systems. And just right now, we're driving on this road from Kashgar city to Markit County, and we're receiving signals from 12 different satellites. That means that we're not quite afraid of losing our signals or getting lost. Just getting lost in the desert or in this, area of the country is not fun, right?
Yeah, we'd be desperate.
Yeah, absolutely. Beidou Weixing, and thank you so much. Yeah, and we're continue driving.
So yeah, we've drove already like 4,000 kilometers for our whole journey.
Yeah, probably about that much because we started from Kokoto, Tohei, and we passed through like Karame and went to Ili and Arksu. Arksu is actually also composed with a lot of Uyghur ethnicity Uyghurs as well. And now we're in Kashgar. It's the first stop of our southern route, but we call it southern route, but it's not really just about southern. And we're going to visit like Holton in 2 days, still in the southern Xinjiang. But then we're going to the Baingo Mongolian
prefecture,
autonomous prefecture. Thinking about it, just actually, that's what I learned during this time visiting Xinjiang, is that I met not just Chinese Uyghurs and also Mongolians, like Chinese Mongolians here, and the Hui people and a lot of Han people. Of course, it's diverse and inclusive culture here in southern Xinjiang. And after that, we're going to go to Turpan. Oh my god, I love Turpan.
Me too. Me too. Like I think my favorite city here. I should not have say so, but I really love Turpan. It's really chilled out, laid back, and the whole city that laid out. Yeah.
The thing I love about Turpan just because I love grapes, and Turpan has the best grapes, and for raisins. Like Turpan is a great source for raisins, Chinese raisins, and I just learned because Turpan is very hot.
Yeah, it's actually the hottest.
Oh, it's the hottest?
It's the hottest city here in China.
So that means you're going to have a longer summer because we also visit there like in September. It's still very hot. So a lot of grapes from like Kashgar or Holton, they're going to transport their grapes to Turpan just to make them into raisins. Yeah.
Yeah, actually the hottest time the temperature could reach almost to 50 degrees.
It just like in the air because on the ground I think it will reach like 80 degrees Celsius. What else that we can share with our viewers? And we're all like October the 1st is quite a special day. It is a very festive and day. It's not just the Chinese National Day, but also it marks the 65th
anniversary of the establishment of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region.
That means there are a lot of we're going to share a lot about the economic development, the changing culture here, the changing attitudes, the openness, the inclusiveness of this part of the country. Yeah.
So that's why we have this amazing Xinjiang trip for like 30 days.
And especially that we want to tell our viewers and share what we saw here. All the stories, little stories, is not about those like terrible stories, but it's about these kind of heartwarming, touching stories. It's about things that you probably never seen before here. On other news outlets. For example, because we're going to the Dolan village. I need to say this: the Dolan sheep. Because I need to mention this. It has been auctioned for like $2 million for a little sheep.
That's actually insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I don't really have a specific reason for why. It's a very cute sheep, and we're going to show our viewers during our later live stream there. These are very cute sheep, but just for $2 million for a sheep, it's a pet sheep. Some people will eat the sheep, but I think it's crazy because the cheapest Dolan sheep is still
around
almost like
$10,000
$1,000, over $1,000, or $1,000 or $2,000. So that's a very expensive sheep. It's not a huge sheep.
Yeah, you will see it later.
Yeah.
This afternoon. And also, it's worth mentioning that on our route, we are going to visit lots of historical sites.
Yes.
Yeah, so stay tuned with us if you are a history lover.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a little hint. For example, like Jiaohe Ruins is... Oh, okay, I need to say, Jiaohe Ruins is the only historic site that I'll be visiting, so I did my research about it. So Jiaohe Ruins is the world's largest and best preserved cluster of construction made from earth. So it's like raw soil, it's not like cement, it's just grass and hedge mixed with earth, with soil, and then they dig up the ground, they make building out of the ground. but it's not exactly underground. It's a very interesting place, and its history can be traced back like over 2,000 years ago. I think like traced back to the second BC. So that's a very long time. Yeah, and around like 300 AC, that's when actually become a part of China, because there was like a war between the ancient Mongolians with the Chinese Han, because Jiaohe ruins is at a very important passage linking the Chinese mainland to the West world. It's along the Silk Road. Yeah. And speaking of Kashgar, the Kashgar region is a very important route now along this Asian Silk Road, right?
Yeah, it used to be the trading center on the Silk Road.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I also visited one historical site. They said it's actually probably older than the ruin of Jiaohe.
Really?
Yeah. So far, they still haven't figured out like what exactly it is and what it's used for, and however, it's the oldest they found here in Xinjiang. They're still working on that.
I think it's very fascinating, just how all these people and trying to kind of found history here in Xinjiang. It used to call the Western regions. Because in a desert, and you found abandoned buildings or burned out buildings, right? And it's very fascinating how they can discover all these things, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to wrap up this episode of
On the Road.
On the Road, and we're still like about over an hour till Markit, and in this afternoon we're going to deliver another live stream episode about the life of Dolan people in the Markit County here in Kashgar region. Yeah, stay tuned.